Okay, good morning. How you doing? Well, we're going to talk about another Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I couldn't resist. I just got the movie and wanted to find out what kind of crazy things they were doing with the Ghostbusters series or Ghostbusters series. Okay, so this one's a little different. They get that person or that creature back from original. So this is just a spinoff instead of try to redo Ghostbusters as a spinoff. So the original Ghostbusters and this one split up. They're actually there, this in this movie. They're actually they do cameos and a little spot towards the end, but the original Ghostbusters were actually there. And the last Ghostbusters, they did a cameos too from the last 16. But Mom moves from New York to the bunch of kids, because she can't pay her rent and bills, so she inherits the house that her dad passed away with, Egon. So she ends up the house, and they call it the dirt farm. Anyway, so she takes the kids over there to the house and moves in. Then what was that creature from the first one? Gozer. Yeah, Gozer. There it is, Gozer. So he figured out that Gozer's coming back, and he was a crazy man for a while, and nobody believed him, and he actually figured it out that Gozer's coming back in X amount of years. So he devised a plan. He left everybody, took the Ecto-1, the original car. He took all the traps in the power packs, set it all up so that every time the spirit started to rise out of a hole, that it would blow back and contain them. Best he could do at the time. Then our keymaster and gatekeeper come into this one, and so the kids actually get the car running right. One of the younger boy gets fascinated with one of the girls, which turns out to be the sheriff's daughter. The kids get the car running. One kid gets the accelerator running, or the nuclear pack they used to shoot the ghost with. They got one of those working. There's probably more of them that they got working, but they only showed one work, and they showed a work shaft underground. A lamp was talking to them or showing them things, ghostly matters type of thing. Throughout about half the movie, they did this, trying to lay the groundwork to let you figure out that it was one of the Ghostbusters that was helping the kids get back to real life, or get together, get what's going on together to finish this project. So they end up touring a mine that everybody disappeared from because it had too many problems. Then the guy that built the apartment complex built the statue in the mine, or the palace in the mine, and then he was in a glass coffin right there. And so when Gozer finally appears, he would be there and revive, because it brings back all the dead. Anyway, so the kids get the car running. First time they run it was through a field, sliding around, doing all kinds of things through a hay field. Doesn't really matter. Nobody was farming, so they tore up the hay field with the car. He ends up jumping it onto the road and picking up his little sister, I guess, the knowledgeable one, the Brainiac. And then her friend, I guess you could call him. So, this is they called it a supernatural, what did they call it? A supernatural comedy. Well, there's some action in this too. And a love story, a little one, but there's a love story in it. They probably didn't intend it to be a love story, but it sure looks like one. So anyway, they go through the whole story trying to figure out what we already know, that ghosts are real, and they test the pack and blow something up. In the movie, they give it's a whole new twist on Ghostbusters. I don't know if it's got politics to it. Maybe a little. But this sucker, is pretty good, for what it was. It's kind of a tearjerker, bring kids out. It seemed to be pretty good when I watched it. Turns out that once they figure out the whole thing and what's going on, they figure out that the whole property that he was doing in the dirt was a trap for all the ghosts, figuring they'd get way too far. And they had a trap on a remote control car, so they used that to lure Gozer to the farm. And then they figured out how to get it to work, and they got the whole thing working eventually, because it didn't work the first time. They got the whole thing working, and at the end, as all's well, they trapped Gozer in one of the traps, so he's done. Well, at least we think he's done, at least as far as this movie. They may bring him out again, but he caught Gozer. And this is at the end. There's where they show up in the middle, but at the end is where the remaining Ghostbusters show up. Except for Egon, he's the actual ghost in this one. So Bill Murray and the rest of the Ghostbusters in this one show up at the end. Then so they end up setting off all the traps, catching all the ghosts, so they didn't have a big attack, or the ghosts did attack the little town in Oklahoma by the farm. But they didn't tear up everything, and they had earthquakes for a while. After they caught Gozer, it stopped. I kind of like this film. I'm going to give it a full 5 stars. And I'm hoping you will watch it and tell me what you think in the comments below. But, nobody ever does that. Okay, let's get this computer to work right so we can figure this out. Okay, this is a Sony Pictures release. It came out November 19th, 2001. It ran 124 minutes. Long movie. United States English, they spent $75 million making it. They probably had a couple of years to do that one. Then there was a lot of special effects in it. Then they made at the box office when it came out, probably earlier, 21, 196.9 million. So they did pretty good with this one, probably because of the franchise, Ghostbusters. But, it turned out to be a pretty good movie. It looks like they're trying to resurrect the series so they can do something like they did with Rocky and do over and over and over and over again, one for every generation. Which would be good if they could actually do it. And, every 10 years they come out with a new one, because 2016, 2021, that's 10 years. 1984, they took a little bit longer to decide to do that. 1989. But, I like this franchise, and it turned out to be a good movie. So I'm going to go ahead and duck out of here on this one. And, if you want to stay around for the music afterwards, go for it. because we're going to have a party after with the music that's coming back. We'll see you either next week or tomorrow, depending upon which channel you're watching on, because if you're watching it on YouTube, it's going to be tomorrow. If you're watching it on any of the other outlets, it'll be next week. Because YouTube decided to mess with me. They cut off. They removed 3 of my movies because they didn't like what they represented. And they were just regular movies, one TV show. I guess I used the wrong word, like, I don't know, God. Anyway, we'll see you with the next movie. Bye now.